favor what that would have looked like?
Oh.
If they were in the room looking at that,
Yeah.
can you imagine what they would be thinking? Forget about just the inherent way that could look as far as, are these people insane?
Yeah,
Forget
right.
about that. But then there's the subtle connection that if these people are doing that, and they claim God, and they're the children of God, then subconsciously in the heart, it would be to say that God would be there doing that.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit corralled around you, trying to make you speak in tongues?
It was
Trying to
terrible. I
force
just
it on
wanted
you?
him.
Coerce you to do it.
Oh, it was
Right.
terrible.
Yeah.
I felt sick. I just wanted him to leave.
Now that's not God. I can
No,
guarantee
no,
you
no.
God would not be corralled around somebody doing that. Right? That's not what God would be doing. God would not trying to be forced any. He won't even force life on people.
Right.
If they don't want to live, you can, from the dust of the ground you came, and to the
Boom.
dust you can return. The atheist says, well, I didn't have to be here. Well, then if you don't want to live eternally, glorified, in an earth where there's no death, and there's no sickness, and no disease, and no lack, and you can never die, and you don't want to live with God pouring Himself out for you, it ain't like you're going to show up and punch a card and sing God's praises.
Yeah.
God doesn't need to be persuaded He's God.
No.
Living eternally ain't about how you're going to show up and stand around God and sing songs to God. It's going to be about God is going to serve you with life for all eternity. If you don't want that, God will bow His head to you. He'll shed a tear, but He'll honor you as His co-equal, just like all of us who have children have to honor what our kids want to do, even should we not like it or we know that it isn't good for them.
Yeah.
We can't make them do what we want. But if we know they're going off into destruction, we're going to shed a tear. And we're going to do everything we can to keep them from going that way. But in the day, we can't persuade them to take life, to take what is good. We have to honor that they're a co-equal with us.
Right.
And we have to let them loose to do what they want. Right?
Yeah.
You can't keep. I remember my parents and I having it out when I was a teenager. And I was very resourceful. I was a hustler. So I found a way to generate a very large income when I was 14 years old. And so I didn't need them to live. I remember when I was like 16 or 17, I was just having it out with my parents, cussing them up and down, blah, 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 blah. I'll just go, da, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what my dad said to me? Greg, it ain't like I can keep you here anyway, man. So you're telling me you'll go. I'm not even under the impression I can make you stay. Right? He was bowing his head to me as a co-equal. He was acknowledging this son of mine is in my image. He is a co-equal with me. Yes, the life he has been borrowed from me. But he doesn't have to continue in my life. He can take the life I borrowed to him and do whatever he wants with it. And I can't stop him. I can only persuade him that the life he can have from me is greater than the life he's going to get on his own.
Yes.
I can only try to do that. But in the day, I can't sort that out. And he doesn't believe on the life he can have with me. He's going off to have his own life. See, he's bowing his head as a co-equal.
Right.
He's honoring me as a co-equal. Right?
Yeah.
Well, God said, let us make man in our image. And then he got down on one knee, it says. He baraked Adam. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Hebrew word for he got down on one knee in adoration. He honored Adam.
Yes.
Right?